Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're having a wonderful morning. It is May 27th, 2025, and we're starting off this week a lot better than last week. We had a lot of drama. You had 4 down days in a row. Everybody got worried. Then Donald Trump came in and added more tariff issues and complexity, and now over the weekend, a lot of it got walked back. Von der Leyen, all she did was ask for an extension on the whole EU drama. You remember that last week? And Trump said, that's fine, I'll do that. And now we are up, and everybody is ripping today. So there's a lot going on. We also got to hear about Japan and the bonds, and people were talking about that as well. We got a couple of other things overseas with chips and AI, but generally, last week we got a little bit of that fear back, and now to start off this week, it is pretty good. So we have a Bitcoin conference in Vegas. We got a little bit of data this week as well. Other than that, Chattadonia, should be a fun one, and we will see where it takes us, but Chattadonia, how you feeling? And good morning. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, my gosh, I almost forgot. Oh, good morning, Slink. What up, Yee? What up, Colton? Tim Whitman, Ansel, Tyler B, Amir, Tyree, baby. Good morning. What up, Samuel? El Trapato. How you living, baby? Good morning, Kurt. Enrico, Zach, Mark J, Joey Cacamo. Good morning, baby. What up, Christina? What up, Andrew? What up, KC, Andrea, D's World, Skotsky, Brown, Brian, Dakota. Oh, my goodness. Chattadonia, are you ready? It's Tuesday. I almost called it Monday. I know. We're already done with it. No, I almost forgot. Don't let me forget. Hold on. Forgive me. There you go. How dare. Oh, there you go. Oh, what up, Twitch? What up, Real Fried Rice? What up, Feed Me Seymour? Good morning. What up, Mother Liquor? Payday Devo. Senor B, baby. Oh, Turtle McNasty, Iron Beagle, Preforms, Hailstone, Green Schultz, Mother Liquor, Lord Blowendo, El Coyote, and Blazing Bob, baby. Good morning. You're actually getting China Premier Lee right now, too. He's making some comments. So, Chattadonia, good morning. Oh, yeah, it's gonna be weird. You're gonna get hype. You're gonna get the calm music. Again, the market's ripping. Everybody going crazy. So, Chattadonia, let's make the most of it. Welcome to the beginning of the week and the last week of May. Yes, it's almost June, my friend. I haven't heard sell in May and go away. Whoa, what is this? 5 killed and 19 injured and 6 missing after explosion in China's Shandong. What? I guess there was a fat explosion in China and literally 5 people killed. All right, well, here's Josh AI with the news. Good morning. Stocks gain on trade talks as treasuries rally. Wall Street is set for gains with traders turning optimistic about U.S. and European trade talks and Japan's efforts to calm jittery bond markets. S&P 500 futures jumped 1.5% as markets prepared to open after a long holiday weekend. Government bonds rallied, pushing the 30-year Treasury yield below 5%. The dollar rose 0.3%, setting the currency on track for its biggest gain in more than 2 weeks. Bond traders interpreted Japan's move to canvass market participants about debt sales as a sign that the country is looking to restore calm after a yield soared to record highs. Meanwhile, the European Union said it agreed to accelerate trade negotiations with the U.S., indicating a more amicable turn in talks. The fact that treasury departments around the world are reacting to the sell-off seen in their bond markets is good news, said Evelyn Gomez-Lixty, a strategist at Mizuho. Japan's move triggered a rally in longer-dated bonds across the globe. The yield on the country's 30-year debt fell about 19 basis points. Bonds rose across Europe as well, where weaker than expected French inflation data offered an additional boost. U.S. Treasuries have come under pressure in recent weeks as President Donald Trump's signature, tax legislation, and a Moody's ratings downgrade put the spotlight on rising debt issuance and a ballooning budget deficit. The dollar has also been hit as shifting U.S. policies and the global trade war weighed on demand for American assets. Perhaps other indebted nations like the UK or the US should also ask the market about their appetite for debt issuance, said Kathleen Brooks, research director at XTB. This could then feed directly into budget discussions rather than have a never-ending political back and forth about budget cuts that are then rolled back. The unpredictability of Trump's tariff moves will continue to weigh on the greenback, said Kenneth Brew, a strategist at Societe Generale. The dollar has declined more than 7% this year against a basket of currencies despite Tuesday's gains. When you see these patterns of escalation, de-escalation, sleep, repeat, it's not going to give investors a lot of confidence about what the administration is trying to do, Brew said. There's still the conversations about the rebalancing from U.S. assets. That's a multi-week, multi-month process. Among early stock movers, Informatica Inc. rose 5.3% after Bloomberg News reported that Salesforce Inc. is in talks to acquire the software company. Trump Media and Technology Group rose 6.6% after a report said that the company plans to raise $2 billion in equity and $1 billion via convertible bonds to buy cryptocurrencies, risky bonds. The surge in long-term bond yields this month is threatening to upend a classic investment strategy, the 60/40th stock and bond portfolio, just as it makes a comeback from a long stretch of underperformance. A U.S. gauge of the 60/40th mode returned some 1.6% this year through mid-May, besting the S&P 500 index's return in the period, and with lower volatility according to data compiled by Bloomberg. And a key part of the revival has been the return of the traditional inverse relationship between stocks and bonds. The correlation between U.S. equities and fixed income over the past 6 months has reached the most negative level since 2021, meaning bonds tend to rise when stocks fall and vice versa. But as 30-year Treasury bonds have tumbled this month, sending yields above 5%, stocks have been pulled lower as well. Investors perceive more risk in long-term Treasuries because of the spiraling U.S. debt and deficits. That's posing a challenge to the 60/40th construction. Longer-term Treasuries are behaving like risk assets, not like the typical kind of defensive risk-averse assets. Greg Peters, co-chief investment officer at PGIM Fixed Income, said on Bloomberg Television, global bonds rally as Japan looks to stabilize its debt market. Global bonds rallied with U.S. Treasuries leading gains on signs that Japanese authorities may adjust debt sales following a rout in the market. Long-dated debt led the move, with the 30-year U.S. yield falling as much as 9 basis points to 4.95% as the market reopened after a holiday. In Japan, similar yields fell more than 20 basis points. European bonds also rallied. Japanese authorities signaled they are considering adjusting their debt plan after a sell-off that drove the nation's long-term borrowing costs to the highest levels in decades. Worries about the ability of governments to cover massive budget deficits weighed on developed market debt in recent days, pushing long-dated U.S. yields toward levels last seen in 2007. EU to focus on critical sectors in bid to avoid Trump's tariffs. The European Union is seeking to accelerate trade talks with the U.S. just 6 weeks before President Donald Trump's threatened 50% tariffs come into effect. The European Commission, which handles trade matters for the EU, will focus its new strategy on critical sectors as well as tariff and non-tariff barriers. According to people familiar with the plans, the Commission will also link its approach to addressing regulatory barriers with its plans to simplify rules. The EU's trade chief, Maros Sefcovic, will lead political negotiations on industries such as steel and aluminum, automobiles, pharmaceuticals, semiconductors, and civilian aircraft, said the people who spoke on the condition of anonymity. Those talks will happen in parallel with the technical discussions on tariffs and non-tariff barriers. Last week, Trump threatened to impose a 50% tariff on the EU starting June 1st after complaining the bloc was slow-walking negotiations and unfairly targeting U.S. companies with lawsuits and regulations. But the U.S. president extended the deadline back to July 9th after a Sunday call with Commission President Ursula von der Leyen when she agreed to fast-track talks. A spokesperson for the Commission declined to comment. Member states were briefed on the discussions on Monday after Sefcovic held a call with his U.S. counterparts, Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick and U.S. Trade Representative Jameson Greer. According to the People, French inflation eases to lowest rate since 2020 on energy. France's inflation rate dropped further, below the European Central Bank's 2% target, reaching a more than 4-year low and adding to arguments that borrowing costs can be cut further. Consumer prices rose 0.6% from a year ago in May, the weakest pace since December 2020 as energy costs sank. Analysts surveyed by Bloomberg had estimated a 0.9% advance, matching April's result. The subdued data reflect a wider pullback across the 20-nation Eurozone, with May readings from the region's biggest economies all expected to come in below the ECB's goal for the first time in 8 months. Figures from Italy, Germany, and Spain are due on Friday before the bloc as a whole publishes its report next week. Top overnight news and trade tariffs. EU agrees to accelerate trade talks with U.S. following Trump's extension of tariff deadline. Link, Bloomberg, FT, Reuters. European Commission's new trade strategy targets critical sectors and aims to simplify regulatory barriers. Bloomberg, Politico. Sources say European Commission requests U.S. investment plans from companies for trade talks with Washington. Reuters. American manufacturers with operations in China warn U.S. prices set to increase in coming weeks. Nikkei. Top trade officials from China and EU to meet in early June to step up engagement efforts amid Trump's tariff threats. Bloomberg. Markets. Global bond yields helped by reports Japan may tweak JGB issuance after recent turmoil. Weak demand. Reuters. Bloomberg. JGB market faces its next test on Wednesday with sale of 40Y bonds. Bloomberg. FT. Japan loses top creditor status. Bloomberg. UK government preferencing cheaper, shorter-term debt amid global sell-off in longer-dated securities. FT. Central Bank's Minneapolis Fed's Kashkari says trade and immigration policies creating more uncertainty before September meeting. Bloomberg. BOJ's Ueda says degree of accommodation will be adjusted if incoming data supports confidence in outlook. Bloomberg. Reuters. ECB's Lagarde says U.S. policy offers chance to boost Euro's global role. Bloomberg. RBNZ expected to cut by another 25 BP on Wednesday, maintain easing bias. Bloomberg. Bouquet expected to reduce ease by 25 BP on Thursday following GDP contraction, benign inflation. Reuters. PBOC asks major banks to boost share of yuan when facilitating cross-border trade. Bloomberg. Economy. China industrial profit growth quickens manufacturer earnings hold up amid tariff headwinds. Reuters. Bloomberg. Sen-T1. Japanese advisory panel urges fiscal consolidation amid rising debt costs from BOJ's tightening. Bloomberg. German GfK consumer confidence continues to improve as wage settlements and cooling inflation likely helped optimism. WSJ. European consumer confidence improved in May, recovering from April's decline, but remains below long-term averages. WSJ. UK food inflation hits one-year high, driven by fresh food prices. FT. Bloomberg. Swiss exports to the U.S. dropped 36% in April due to Trump's tariff policy. Bloomberg. France's inflation rate falls to 4-year low, supporting potential cuts in borrowing costs. Bloomberg. Corporate. Nvidia's earnings report could boost U.S. equities as investors hold $7 in cash. Bloomberg. Yahoo Finance. Nvidia's AI chips drive $306.5 billion in venture capital for global AI startups since 2023. PitchBook data shows. Yahoo Finance. Tim Cook's influence wanes as Trump's praise turns to criticism, worsening Apple's challenges this year. NY Times. Tesla's European sales dropped 49% in April despite overall electric vehicle growth. Reuters. Link. It's saying Nike welcomes Dick's Sporting Goods deal for Foot Locker amid retail challenges and opportunities. FT. Microsoft strengthens AI industry position with new products and partnerships at annual Build conference. FT. Sell-side fear of trade war impact on corporate spending appears exaggerated, with many firms maintaining capex plans. Bloomberg. Yum Brands KFC to invest £1.49 billion in UK and Ireland, creating over 7,000 jobs and expanding outlets. Reuters. Europe's electrical equipment makers surge thanks to a pivot to data center infrastructure. FT. 7-Eleven owner manages to secure shareholder backing amid takeover offer from Couche-Tard. Nikkei. FT. EU regulators planning maiden stress test of non-bank financial institutions to examine wider impact of a market crisis. FT. Geopolitics. Trump weighs sanctions against Russia, though also considering abandoning Ukraine peace talks altogether. Link. FT. Reuters. German Chancellor Merz backs Ukraine striking deep inside Russian territory after removing all range restrictions for weapons. FT. China enhances military readiness for potential Taiwan attack with improved air and artillery capabilities. FT. White House envoy Witkoff reportedly disappointed by Hamas's rejection of a new hostage and ceasefire proposal. Axios. China Premier Li says government weighing new policy tools, including unconventional measures amid global uncertainty. Reuters. China aims to boost domestic consumption amid trade tensions with the U.S. by encouraging household spending. Link. China plans new strategy to boost high-tech production amid U.S. manufacturing pushback. Bloomberg. Chinese banks' deposit rate cuts prompt public to prioritize saving over spending, raising economic concerns. Reuters. China's housing slowdown and high youth unemployment increase vulnerability in trade war with Trump. NY Times. Crypto. Trump media aiming to raise $3 billion from equity and convertible debt to buy cryptocurrencies. FT. Washington. U.S. tax bill could impose higher rates on income from countries with unfair tax regimes. Bloomberg. Trump's drug pricing plan faces challenges without Congress, risking GOP's stance on price setting. Axios. Trump threatens to withdraw $3 billion in grants from Harvard, targeting foreign students. FT. Reuters. Hegseth faces internal conflicts at the Pentagon, raising concerns about his long-term cabinet viability. Washington Post. Energy. OPEC Plus advances video conference to decide July oil production levels amid rising supply concerns. Bloomberg. There's more, and I turned up the volume a little bit, so I don't know if I'm too loud or not. But good morning, baby. There's more. There's way more, baby. Waymo. Oh, man. Bro, I used the Waymo this weekend. You know that? It was terrifying. S&P futures, they're up by 1.4. Tuesday morning trading comes after U.S. equities sold off last week, with the Dow and S&P and NASDAQ all down near 2.5%, and the Russell off almost by 3.5%. Big tech, energy, apparel, chemicals, builders, and banks among the notable laggers. Treasuries firmer, with yields at the back end of the curve now down 4 to 5 basis points. 10-year back below 4.5 and 30-year back below 5. Dollar is up by 0.2. Gold is down by 2.1. Bitcoin is up by 1, and WTI is down by 0.9. Two notable tailwinds for risk assets in play. Trump delayed 50% tariff deadline on EU by over a month to July 9th, in line with reciprocal tariff reprieve, following a positive call with European Commission President von der Leyen, while EU subsequently agreed to fast-track trade talks with the U.S. In addition, global bond yields, helped by reports of Japan's finance minister, may be prepared to tweak issuance, dial back issuance of super long bonds, following last week's market rout in the wake of soft demand, at least with the 20-year JGB auction. Let's see. Is it really that quiet? I have it like yelling on my end. No way. All right, give me 1 second. Okay, how about now? Is it still pretty loud? Actually, let me turn it off and on again. Oh, yeah. It's super loud on my end. I don't know if that's the other one. Give me 1 second. All right. I love the music in the background. All right, how about that? Dude, this is really loud. Yeah, I don't know, bro. This is really loud. Yeah, I don't know, bro. Yeah, I think are you guys just trying to make me have it sound awful? Because it's really loud. I think you guys are tripping. So, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think you guys are tripping. I'm going to have to turn it down again. Yeah, this is good. I think 5 people in the chat are tripping me out right now. All right. So, back to our news, my friends. April headlines, down. April durable goods down by 6.3 month over month, though the decline less than expected. Core capital goods down larger than expected by 1.3, lowest since September 22. Core capital goods shipments down by 0.1 in line with consensus, though March revised higher. March FHA house price index and Case-Shiller both lower month over month. May conference board consumer confidence and May Dallas Fed still to come. Fed speakers include Barkin, Williams, and Kashkari earlier today. On Monday, Kashkari said not sure if the picture would be clear enough by September. Treasury supply in focus with $69 billion of 2-year auction comes ahead of $70 billion of 5-year notes on Wednesday and $44 billion of 7-year notes on Thursday. CRM to acquire Infa in an $8 billion deal. Pinduoduo missed with the company flagging macro pressure on sales and margins. AZO takeaways mixed with comps better but margins worse. SKY EBITDA light with margins a drag. Elsewhere, Reuters reported NVIDIA will launch a new Blackwell AI chip with mass production to start as early as June. New York Times discussed how Apple CEO Cook has drawn Trump's ire. Tesla CEO Musk said returning 24/7 to his company, while the EV maker European sales roughly halved in April, falling for a 4th straight month. Boeing reached deal with DOJ to avoid prosecution related to 2 fatal 737 MAX crashes, and then GM pushing ahead on EVs despite hesitancy in U.S., and DJT boosted by crypto plans, and VFC helped by insider purchase. Oh, SBET. I saw this one in the morning. No fucking way. Damn, it went up another 200. This one, $400 million private placement to buy Ethereum and to buy crypto. But not bad, Chadadonia. Oh, we still got good time, even with all of that. Are you kidding me? So perfect. We got some pre-market movers, my friends. So RKLB, they're up by 4.8 off of nothing. CoreWeave, they're up by 4 off of a downgrade. Everything else just ripping with the rally. Myrna is up by 2.5, files FDA application for LP81 targeting COVID-19 vaccine. UAL up by 2 and 3. Reiterates agreement, I believe, with flight attendants or something like that. Did I just lose it all? Yeah. With Association of Flight Attendants, XYZ is up by 2.3. BNB Paribas upgrade. DGNX up 18, MOU to acquire 13 million shares. ATS up 16 off guidance. DJT up 9, reportedly planning to raise $3 billion to buy crypto. Rigetti is up by 7. Qubits is up by 5 as well. LFST 5.8 UBS upgrade. Infa up 5.8 to be acquired for 25 a share. RDW is up by 4.5, delivered onboard computer for ESA Comet intercept mission. DLO is up 4.0, City initiates buy. Sound is up by 4.4, Piper Sandler upgrade. WRD is up by 4.1, expands into Saudi Arabia. VFC is up by 3.9, insider buy. AMC is up 3.7, announces Memorial Day holiday weekend performance. BRBR is up by 3.2, DA Davidson upgrade. ETWO is up by 26, Wiser confirms acquisition. MTAL is up 19, Harmony confirms $12.25 a share offer. FLD is up by 18, Northland initiates outperform. Gilt is up by 8.2, 25 million ordering. LTBR up by 4.5, 150 million offering. Surprisingly, the stock's up. MindMed is up by 4.1. Brandy Roberts, CEO. Nuclear, all trading higher. Bitcoin trading higher, trading lower. Pinduoduo down by 19 off earnings. EHang down 7.5 off earnings. Sky down 7.3 off earnings. NNN down 5.2. RCKT down 5. FDA places clinical hold on phase 2 trial. IMNN, this is down 30.5. 9.7 million private placement. That was the biotech last week. PRTA down by 27, phase 3 Affirm trial did not meet primary endpoint. GORV down 18, discloses transaction. And gold and silver related stocks, or gold, silver related down, and gold futures down. But Honda, or HMY, am I tripping? No, I think it's just HM. But Chadadonia, not bad, baby. Not bad. So how are you feeling? Well, I could hear it. Let me hear it one more time. Well, I could hear it. Let me hear it one more time. Yeah, so I don't know. I think you guys hear the background, so like it kind of clips out. I don't know why it comes out like that, but I can't adjust it anymore. It's going to make me sound terrible. So, yeah, you guys either got to turn it up or go home or figure it out. Otherwise, I think it's bearable. It's bearable for now. But other than that, Chatadonia, we got 5 minutes. We still got to get to Gen Pop, but there's a reason why you had a holiday yesterday, okay? And I hope you get it, okay? I hope you understand it, man, and I hope you honored it, because every single day, baby, before we try to chase a dollar, before we try to enrich ourselves, we must pay homage to a very special group of people that has made a sacrifice that most of us never have and ever will. And I'm talking about the veterans of the United States of America. So God bless Chatadonia and God bless everybody who has served. But quite frankly, we would not be here without those who have given up everything. So it's very easy to live your life and not recognize it. And that's why here, man, is it one thing to say it every morning? It is. But I truly hope all of you bring this into culture. I hope we have an impact on culture and society, and we do that by honoring those who actually deserve it. And the veterans are the ones. So veterans, the families, thank you guys for everything. And if anybody should be getting a house, stocks, all of that, it should be you. So let us help, and please be wise. Be safe out there, man. And just above all else, I hope you know you are loved. And if you have not served, I truly hope you could bring this love and appreciation into real life. So God bless all of you. And big shout out to anybody else out there giving back to their local communities. Doctors, nurses, teachers, firefighters, police officers, the janitors, the coaches, the garbage men. Anybody making their community run, baby. God bless you and thank you. But ladies and gentlemen, please rise up. Place your right hand over your heart. Say it with me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all, baby. Son of the judge! Oh, it's game time, baby. Horna! Let's go. Oh, Chatadonia. Why won't it do it? Okay, yeah, we gotta go. We gotta go, baby. Time for Gen Pop. I hope this is the right link. It might be. Well, either way, Chad, get ready. It's game time. So God bless America. God bless Chatadonia. You got a Trump Truth Social coming out, but yeah, we only got 2 minutes, baby. So let's go. I'll see you on over. Good morning. Oh, it's still on the black screen. All right, BRB. We gotta go, Chatadonia.